Hey, Louie. Obviously, it had only been 3 games, but you talked before the game today about how your guys had been overswinging a little bit. Uh, did you feel like a night like tonight was really necessary to just kind of get the monkey off their backs early here?
Well, first of all, these guys work extremely hard every day. That's one thing um, that they show day to day. They're consistent with that. He starts really early. Hitting coach Tom Slater and Ryan Ellis that are on the side along with Chile that is working remotely. They're connected with the guys and they talk hitting. I mean, from really early, whether it's phone call, whether it's text, whether it's when they get to the field and they start studying opposing pitcher and they start doing things in the cage and just the work they're putting every day. I mean, that it's going to start paying off at some point. Along with the talent that these guys have. So, something that we saw in the first 3 days is not what this team is, and what we've seen for them from the most part. This guys is an offensive team. I mean, we feel that they're the type of team that can definitely produce some runs. So. It's something that is so early, you say, and you just can't wait until the guys just start clicking and start connecting good at bat after good at bat, and I think that's what they did early today.
Conforto's gotten off to a hot start here, especially against lefties. Though it seems like he's putting together some good at bats. What have you seen in his at bats against left-handers specifically?
Well, good. I think he's taking a good plan to the plate. He did it. He did it really early. Just was able to zone in and stay within himself, and I think he got the pitch that he was looking for. And it's that battle, it's that preparation that you do pregame. When you study your opposing pitching, and all these guys here, in the major league level are talented. So that mind game, you play for getting prepared, looking for a certain pitch in certain location. It's the type of thing that is probably going to put you in that position where you can win a battle. And I think he did a really good job there. And along with him, how he's been swinging the bat in the last couple of days. So it was great. That got us on the board. I kind of set the tone for that early rally that we got going on.
Louis, did you settle on a starter for tomorrow night?
No, not there yet. We haven't met. I just went to the office and came straight here right after, and we haven't met as a staff. Something that we're gonna probably determine either tonight. It should come out either tonight or tomorrow morning. We're gonna revise what we have for the bullpen availability, freshness, and see what we can do to reveal our starter for tomorrow.
Hey, Louis, with Pete's home run, is that about as hard as you can hit a ball?
Well, I don't know the stats on it. How he came, but he was loud and he left the yard quick. Happy for him. I'm glad he connected. He was able to get ready early and extend, and that's the Pete that we all know. That's the type of swing that we see him take. We saw him take last year when he hit all those homers. And so. Now is to build on up on that, and make sure you find your consistency. I think right now he's always in a good place. His attitude is so positive. I mean, he was like a little kid here at Fenway, the whole day, just during BP, just having fun, and then entering the game just the same way. So I'm glad he's translated into the game. What he's able to do.
And with Dom Smith carrying over that good performance from summer camp, what has he really done so well over the last month?
I think he worked hard, to be consistent and bring that into camp. First of all, his shape is tremendous right now. He knows that he's not going to be only the first baseman. He's going to be the outfielder, first baseman. Today we had him DHing, but I think he worked really hard for that. He's in a good place right now. You can see how early and how smooth his loading, how easy his hands are coming out. And he hit the ball. I didn't think it was going to leave the yard. To be honest, I thought that was a gapper. And then the ball kept carrying. I mean, this kid is strong, and I'm just glad that he gets his first start and he's able to maintain his timing, his rhythm, everything that he had going on in camp.
Thank you.
Hey, Louis, just wondering what you thought of Wacha in his first start of the season.
good debut. In the Mets uniform for him. Just excellent. Attacking the zone, coming back in counts too with his changeup, spotting cutter good. I mean, he did a good job. One mistake against that lineup, it's what more can you ask? And that's a tough lineup to face, obviously. And he went, I think, 2.5 times through it, and just under 80 pitches, and to get the win, 5 innings for us, put us in a good spot today. So just excellent. What we saw in camp is what we saw tonight. So looking forward for him to keep it going in the season.
Thanks.
Hey, Louie, I'm just wondering what you saw from Ahmed Rosario, particularly leading off these last 2 nights.
Well, good. Rosie's ready to fire. That's one thing for sure. He's ready to swing. He features really good against lefties, and against both, I should say. But, he's a little bit more dominant against the lefties, and we're able to give him an extra bat there to lead us up. And, he's been good. So today, that inning, he connected with Alonso, and we got the 2 runs, and we're looking for that connection. Now we have Nemo hitting 9th, and that sequence there is doing pretty good. McNeil's from the back good tonight as well. So, we're looking for everything to click, as we know that, we can be a good offensive team. The guys are working really hard. They're maintaining their, just their way of handling themselves and in the clubhouse, out there in the, on the field. And they know that this is going to come around. They're going to start connecting. They're going to start being the offensive team that we know we are. Tonight we put some good swings together. Now we got to build up and look for that consistency.
Louis, I know the organization was excited about Wacha over the winter after you signed him and through spring training. Those 2 elements that we saw tonight, the really good changeup and a little bit of a uptick in velocity on the 4-seam, are those the things that you guys sort of zeroed in on as reasons why he might be better than some people had expected?
Well, we've seen history. Personally, I seen the history of his below being up, down. Year to year, I should say, he did. You can say he did a tremendous job just to come in, be healthy. I know he's gone through some, health history in the past, and then he's balanced to being a starter, to being a reliever, and the mentality that he brought here, to be a starter, and the work that he put to be that starter for us. You can see it. It's there. So the changeup is just a nasty pitch right now. It just falls off the table. When he throws the fastball, it just creates so much in that contrast. So just kudos to him. This guy, it's this guy's stuff right now. It's it's pretty good. Above average to above average pitches. He's got the cutter too. He's got a curveball, and his pitchability. Just you saw how he can field. He can get up the mound and fielding. He can control running game. I know that there was a steal today, but he's a guy that can do a lot of things for you, and and go out there and compete and put the team in a good position to win games like he did tonight.
How much of a difference does it make for the rest of his pitches when that fastball is 95 instead of 92, 93? Is that extra little notch in velocity really make the changeup and the cutter that much more effective?
Yes. That cutter can be a contact pitch, and, gets that cutter as a second pitch in an at-bat. He induced contact. He can get an out. He can stay pitches. He can get deeper in games. He's got the changeup. He can use it for lefties and righties. And he's got, curveballs to strike as a strike stealer, and he can bounce them too to put away batter. So there's a lot of options that he's creating, with the fastball velocity, what it is, like you just saying. So just really excited for him. And he's put so much work, and he's very proud of himself. You can see the way he's carrying himself, and conversations you have with him as well. This guy is a true competitor. He's a pro. He's a professional.
Hey, Michael, what was so effective for you tonight?
I feel like I had pretty good command of, the fastball, cutter, and changeup. And, me and Ramos, we got on a nice little groove there. We were attacking the zone and, making pitches. And, just trying to let the defense play behind me and make plays. And, they did just that. When
you're at your absolute best, that changeup is such a weapon for you. It looked like tonight it had a really nice amount of movement on it. What have you been able to do to get it back to where you want it to be, and how close is that pitch to where it was at its best right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I spent a lot of the off season and these last few months during the quarantine and shutdown just on working on mechanic stuff and getting it to where I needed to be. And off speed pitches have been coming out really nice with those new movements and new mechanics. But it's always been my bread and butter. It's kind of what has made me who I am throughout my career with that changeup. But it was good to get some swing and misses on it, get some weak contact on it, and it was a pretty effective pitch for me tonight.
Hey, Michael. With topping out at 77 pitches, I was wondering if that was the plan or if that was just kind of how the game suggested they go.
I think I was kind of scheduled to, finish around that pitch count tonight. I was definitely getting a little bit tired there in the fifth inning. I can feel it in my legs, just getting a little bit tired. Shoulder and everything was still holding up, but it was definitely probably my last inning there. But I feel strong. Looking forward to this next week, putting in some work and getting back out there on the mound in 5 days.
Sure. And with your changeup generally, is that more of a weak contact change or a swing and miss change?
If I get it down in the zone where I need it to be, it can become a swing and miss. Whenever I'm throwing it a little bit up in the zone, it can still get some weak contact on it. It still seems like it's a pretty tough pitch to hit. So it's whenever I get it down, located well, it can provide some swing and miss stuff.
Got it. Thank you.
Hey, Michael. I was just curious if being back at Fenway Park brought any memories to you, good or bad?
It definitely brings back some memories. Last time I pitched here, it was definitely a little bit different atmosphere, being Game 6 of the World Series. The fans were definitely pretty rowdy, and not having anybody out in the stands definitely provided for a different atmosphere for sure. But it's a historic ballpark. It's always cool coming back here and playing. I guess I came back here a couple years ago, but I wasn't lined up to pitch. So last time I was out on the mound was in 2013. So it had been a little while, but it was good getting back out there and having that feel of Fenway, and just a historic ballpark was pretty sweet pitching in.
Thank you.
Hey, Michael. Third inning and the fifth inning, you had 2 on, nobody out both times. It looked like you went to your cutter and your change most of the time to get out of there. But can you talk about that a little bit, how you approached that?
Yeah, it was a little self-inflicted there in the third with the leadoff walk. You never want to do that, putting free base runners out there. But like I said, I was trying to rely on my defense. Got a huge double play in that inning, and then in that last inning, 2 on, nobody out. A couple ground balls got through, but just had to bear down and try to make pitches as best as you could. Even whenever you're feeling tired, you just gotta try to suck it up and try to make your pitches as best as you can. And ended up being able to do that in that inning and getting out of there unscathed.
Thank you.
Hey, Michael, I'm just wondering how much of the video you looked at with your dad over the off season was kind of the difference for you in your first start tonight?
I mean, I touched on it a little bit. That was one of the keys going into the off season was getting my mechanics right. They had just fallen off a little bit too much, and looking at a little video with my dad and some of the guys down in not in Tomball, but down in Fort Worth with those guys at APEC. Just getting those mechanics right and getting through the ball as best I can has really helped out a lot. I feel like the fastball's coming out a lot easier. I feel like not really trying to throw as hard as I can, but it's still coming out really nice and smooth. And like I said, just with these with staying a little bit more through to the plate, it's definitely helped out my off speed as well.
Dom, you've obviously looked really locked in since the start of summer camp. What in particular is working well for you? How do you feel up at the plate right now?
I feel good. Like I said, every year, after every season, you want to go home, go back to the drawing board and work on some things. And, every year is a year, for room of improvement. So, I try to just work on my swing. We had extra time off. I know I came to spring training a little bit slow with the bat, but I was working on things. And then this little extra time I had, I just had time to, just work on my swing, work on my legs, and just work on just constant finding the barrel. So I think, swinging at good pitches, swinging at strikes is the reason why, I'm able to have a little success that I have.
You became such an effective pinch hitter last year. Did that experience help you feel comfortable in a DH role tonight?
Yeah. I mean, pinch hitting, it's one of the hardest things to do in baseball. So when you're able to have a little bit of success at that, it kind of makes the game a little bit easier. So when I'm able to start and have 4 at-bats, it's kind of lesser, pressure that I put on myself because I don't have, just 1 at-bat as if I'm, coming in to pinch hit. So I think pinch hitting has helped my overall approach. And like I said, from pinch hitting so much last year, it's kind of, easier to come in, start a game knowing that you have, 3, 4 at-bats.
Hey, Dom, like Steve said, you looked great at the plate in summer camp, but to carry that over into the season tonight and to see that ball go over the fence, how would you describe what's going through your head in that moment?
Just a lot of obviously happiness. You work so hard, throughout these days, especially before the season started in spring training 2.0. We had a lot of long days. So, to finally get out there, get my first start and to put a good swing on a pitch, it's definitely a lot of sign of just happiness. And, it was definitely fun to get out there and battle and compete.
And do you think this tonight can be a breakthrough for you guys offensively?
We know how talented this lineup is, and we ran across a couple good pitchers, and we can't take credit away from those guys, because they're playing at the highest level too. But we know we're used to saying it's a long season. Obviously, it's not. It's a little shorter season, so we know we have to get it going. But we know the talent is there, and we just have to keep coming in every day, work hard, and that's what we're doing. So to see a little breakthrough like this is definitely a good sign. But we all know that the job isn't finished, and we have a lot of work ahead of us to do. So we're all prepared to coming back tomorrow and get it going, keep grinding, and bring that attitude and intensity every day.
Thank you.
Hey, Dom, you were here a couple years ago when the Mets made the trip. I was just wondering how this Fenway experience compared to that time you saw a rat in the dugout and how much better this one was.
Obviously, anytime you get to come here and play in Boston, it's definitely going to be special for you. And just stepping out on that field, it's just a special place to be. And, wasn't any fans here, but you still felt the energy and kind of all the history that's here at this park. So I know last time I played here, I don't think I did too well, and just to finally come back out here and just be a totally different version of myself and just be comfortable, playing the game of baseball again. I was excited to get out here, and I felt like I was going to be able to do something to help my team win. So, I'm excited I was able to do this, and I just look forward to, getting back out there tomorrow and trying to help my team win again.
Thank you.
Hey, Dom, I just wondered if with all the left-handed starters that were starting to stack up, 2 for Atlanta, 2 here, whether you wondered whether you're ever going to get a chance to get in the starting lineup.
Say that again.
I was just wondering if with all the starters Atlanta had, the two left-handed starters and the 2 lefties going for Boston, whether you were getting antsy and wondering when you were going to get in the starting lineup.
Yeah, the Mets, they do a good job at managing our workload and stuff like that. And all I wanted to do was just keep myself prepared and ready, like I told you guys. And whatever situation I got in, whether, like I said, pinch hitting and starting, I wanted to be ready. And I just want to keep showing the team that I'm ready and I'm a good player in this league. So that's just always been my goal. And like I said, whether I come off the bench tomorrow, whether I'm starting, I'm gonna make sure that I put in the work and my routine is pretty crisp, so I'm ready to go play.
Hey, Dom, I was just curious if you saw Pete's homer or if you blinked and missed it.
That was a shot. Those are just amazing shots that you can see. He did it all year last year. But to see him get into a ball like that, I'm extremely happy for him. And, I know he was happy to do that, but that was an absolute bullet. And, I'm glad there wasn't any fans up there because, somebody could have got hurt with that one.
Hey, Louis was talking before the game about how, not that 1 for 11 to start a season as a major slump or anything, but that, his attitude really hadn't changed. Do you see him at all when he goes through little stretches like that any different than when he's going well?
I think that's what makes this team so special is that, we pick each other up and we don't let each other mope around or feel sorry for themselves. And, we know that we put in an extremely amount of time and effort every day with our work. So, we're confident that things are going to turn around, and we don't let, little early things like that kind of get in our mind or kind of affect us, because we know that we're going to get opportunities to help the team win. So we try to focus on that. And like I said, we put a ton of time every day, with our fundamentals, with extra work. So we don't worry about, the negative things and stuff like that. And we just focus on positives, and we know we're talented. So we know that things will turn as long as we're putting in the work.
Thank you.
Tom, coming back from last night's loss again, did anyone say anything? Does anyone need to say something? Was it business as usual? How would you describe that aspect tonight?
I know, especially us as an offense, we know that we want to pick things up, obviously, because we do know the talent that's in the room. So, like I said, it's not much to say. We're all professionals here, and we hold ourselves, at the highest standard, and we hold each other at the higher standard. So we know what is expected for us every day. That's why we came in today with, a little bit more of fire under our butt, and we really want to get after it. And, we just want to get back to some normalcy, and we want to bring some more energy, because I feel like that's what was lacking in the first 3 games. So to get back out here, jump on the team early, show some energy, and just show what our offense is like, I think this could be a little spark for our offense.
Pete, I know it was just one series, but is there any bit of exhale when you connect with the shot like that?
The swing felt really good. I've been taking some really good swings. I feel like my approach has been there. It's just a matter about everything kind of working together and everything hitting on all cylinders. But taking a swing like that, capitalizing it felt really awesome. And it's been a little while since I hit my last homer, so it's nice to get that one out of the way.
Do the early season, the series that exists here, everybody's talking about that first series against the Braves, the bats hadn't woken up yet. In a normal season, that would be, no big deal. Does it feel any different in a shortened season like this? Do you feel some sort of urgency to get things going as a group quicker than you may in the past?
Well, regardless of having a long season or a short season, you want to be able to take as many series as possible. And for me, I think that getting this is a really nice bounce back win. And whatever happened against the Braves, it just you can't change it now. The only thing we can change is moving forward and going and attacking each day, because each day is still a new opportunity. And then now, with the expanded playoffs, I think 16 teams in the league are going to be in the playoffs. So it's going to be over half the league. And I think that that's going to be a nice way, because we're used to playing 162 games. And I feel like the playoffs and having a couple extra spots, that's going to be the equalizer for a lot of teams. So I feel like that with this format, with this unique season, I feel like that helps. And at the end of the day, as long as we're in the playoffs, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So I think that every season is a unique journey, and we're just going to take it day by day.
Pete, after seeing kind of where that ball landed and how it got out of here, you glad there were no real fans up there?
Well, there is an advisory throughout the ballpark. You have to be aware of flying baseballs and bats. And hopefully, if there was fans here, they needed to not be on their cell phone and be locked into the game. So, I'm glad no one was hurt. But at the end of the day, they gotta stay locked in on the game.
Thanks.
Hey, Pete, just before the game started, it looked like you're in over to the monster and, I don't know, peered through a crevice or something. What exactly were you doing over there?
So I'm not a little upset. I'm a lot of bit upset, because in that little section, there's a tradition where if it's your first time playing at Fenway Park, there's signatures inside the Green Monster. And
Sure.
I don't know how far back those signatures go And it's really a historical artifact. And for me, I'm a huge baseball junkie, and ever since I was a little kid, that's one of those things that it's historic. It's almost like a rite of passage. And if you become a big leaguer and it's your first time playing in Fenway Park, and you sign the wall. And I was really upset that this year we're not able to do it, or hopefully I can finagle my way in there tomorrow because of all the new restrictions to the ballparks. And I feel like it's as a ball player, it's not necessarily fair because you got a couple guys like Jimenez and a couple other guys that haven't necessarily played in Fenway. It's a rite of passage, and it's a part of baseball history. And you got guys' names in there that dating back from the 50s. I'm sure Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio. You have anybody you can think of is probably on that wall, and it's a remarkable piece of history. And I was really looking forward to be a part of that. And I guess I'll have to wait till either tomorrow if I can snake my way in there, or see what can happen.
Somebody's got to have a key, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I got to ask the right guy who's willing to let me and a couple other new guys who haven't signed it back there. So,
thank you.
Hey, Pete, to see Dom get that opportunity tonight at DH, and then to see him make the most of that, how did that feel for you as a close friend and a teammate?
I mean, anytime Dom succeeds, I just get so happy. I mean, the kid's a hell of a ball player. He's such a great asset to any team. I mean, any team would be lucky to have him. But for us, we're extremely blessed, and we're so happy that Dom's with us because he can be a force, and he showed that tonight. And I mean, kid rakes. Simple as that.
Thank you.
Hey, Pete, I actually had another Green Monster question. I was just wondering, as a right-handed power hitter, how tantalizing that is just kind of sitting out there.
I mean, it's a really, I mean, obviously it's a iconic structure, and any ballpark you look at, if you see a monster, it's always associated, or if you see anything and you just, oh, that's the Green Monster. It's iconic. It's amazing, but ultimately you can't let it get in your head, because for me, there's a lot of room to play, and a lot of room to play around with in right center field, and in right field. So I guess for me, when I capitalized on that pitch, I wasn't necessarily trying to pull it or trying to go that way. I was thinking big part of the field, and I guess the location of the pitch kind of dictated where it went off of my bat. So if I keep having a good approach and getting some good swings off, I know that things are going to kind of string together for me. So I'm not worried. I feel confident. I feel good, and it's just a matter of time before everything starts clicking and falling into place consistently.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Pete, I think you did send one of the cardboard cutouts to the hospital with that shot, by the way. But I was wondering, the first inning when you drove that ball to center, that was really the first time we've seen you drive a ball like that, like we're used to seeing. Was that a release for you, and did it help you in the next at bat?
Well, I feel like I felt on that swing, I just felt, or tonight I felt way more comfortable, obviously, than the past couple other nights. But I feel like what really clicked is that last night I felt my body. It was moving in the way I wanted it to. Everything felt more connected. I felt like my direction was definitely better. But for me, I just want to keep. I guess I want to keep my feel. I want to keep everything working connected, staying connected. That's one of my big things. Using my legs, and to be able to, I guess, kind of capitalize on a pitch just because it was right at him doesn't necessarily mean I didn't do my job. I mean, for me, my job is to hit the ball hard, put it into play. So I just I'm happy with that first at bat, and I just want to keep that feeling going, keep stringing that consistent, I guess that consistency of that feel together. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I think all the other guys are looking forward to tomorrow too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like what Ed was just asking about hitting the ball at center. like you're a guy who obviously knows what you want to do. You're a thoughtful hitter, whether it's use the middle of the field or not chase. How difficult is it when you might get into pressing a little bit to know that you don't want to do those things or fall into certain habits, but then still avoid doing them? Whether it's just a couple games where you're a little out of your game, you know what you don't want to do, but sometimes you do it anyway. And what do you
right? Well, that's the frustrating thing about hitting sometimes. I mean, that's why all the good hitters only succeed 30% of the time, and that's if they're really good. I mean, if you succeed 28% of this time, you're still pretty damn good. So for me, it's baseball is a game of failure, and there's different ups and downs and ebbs and flows in every season. And for me, it's as long as I feel good, as long as I keep getting some A swings off, and I mean, minimizing chasing, that's one of the toughest things to do offensively. And then also keeping that good feel, staying in rhythm, that's another tough thing. So for me, it's I'm feeling good. I know it necessarily hasn't been consistent, but for me, ultimately, every single day, my approach is stay in the middle of the field and just try and get some good A swings off and minimize chase. I know it's easier said than done, but for me, that's my intent every single time I walk up to the dish. And today I felt really good, and I just want to continue that and just keep pressing on forward and trying to snag as many wins as possible.
Had you been trying to pull a little bit too much over the weekend, and that was better tonight?
Oh no, that's the frustrating thing. I wasn't trying to.
Right. It happens that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's the frustrating part about baseball. I mean, I can't stress enough. It's a game of failure, and if my body's not connected, or if I'm not necessarily 100% comfortable at the dish, then it doesn't necessarily work out. Where just because I'm, let's say if it looks like I'm pull happy, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to do that. It's just a matter of, you know what, I just didn't see it that well that day, or something just didn't feel right. But for me, I'm feeling really, really comfortable. Yesterday I felt comfortable. Today I felt really, really comfortable, and I'm looking to continue that feeling, keep pressing forward, and who knows? Like, I mean, tomorrow could be a 4-for-4 day. You never know. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.